Hi, I'm Fletcher, just your average single dad trying to make it work at Apex Innovations, where I've spent the last 8 years as a software engineer. Well, it used to be Watkins Tech until Victor Chamberlain's mega corporation swallowed us whole 3 months ago. That's when everything changed. Dad, do I look okay? My 10-year-old daughter Lily twirled in her best dress, a hand-me-down from my sister's kid, but Lily made it look like $1,000,000. You look perfect, kiddo. Remember, this company party is just for an hour, then we can grab ice cream on the way home. You promised 2 scoops, she reminded me with that mischievous smile so like her mother's. Did I? I don't recall, I teased, ruffling her hair. Dad, I just fixed it. She smoothed it back into place. You said 2 scoops because you're making me talk to boring business people. The company's family welcome event was Chamberlain's idea of good PR after the acquisition. Most of my colleagues saw through it, but attendance was strongly encouraged. Mr. Preston, so glad you could join us, called Samantha Wells, Chamberlain's executive assistant. Her perpetual clipboard and perfect posture made her look like she'd stepped out of a corporate training video. Thanks, Sam. This is my daughter, Lily. Hello, Lily. The children's activities are in the East Wing, Samantha said without looking at her. Mr. Chamberlain will be addressing the adults in 15 minutes. I want to stay with you, Lily whispered, clutching my hand. Just for a bit. Then activities, okay? My friend Mike Thompson appeared, punch cup in hand. Fletcher, survived another week under the new regime, huh? Barely. Any idea what this dog and pony show is about? Rumor is he's announcing bonuses to keep key staff from jumping ship, Mike said, lowering his voice. Though I'd settle for just keeping our jobs. Ladies and gentlemen, Samantha's voice cut through the murmur, please welcome the CEO of Chamberlain Global, Mr. Victor Chamberlain. The crowd parted as Victor strode in, tall, tanned, with that practiced smile that never reached his eyes. At 50-something, he embodied every corporate success cliché, from his tailored suit to his carefully maintained physique. I want to personally welcome the Watkins Tech family into the Chamberlain Global family, Victor announced, gesturing grandly. Your innovative work is precisely why— Dad, Lily tugged my sleeve, interrupting my attention. Look, that man has a ring just like Mom's. I glanced down at her, confused. What, honey? The ring on his pinky. It's just like the one in Mom's pictures, the one she lost before she died. I looked up at Chamberlain's left hand as he gestured. There it was, a distinctive emerald ring with an unusual gold setting. Are you sure, Lily? She nodded emphatically. Remember the picture of Mom at the beach? She's wearing that exact ring. You said it was special because it was from Grandma. My heart stuttered. Rebecca had indeed inherited an emerald ring from her mother, a family heirloom that had mysteriously disappeared shortly before the car accident that took her life 3 years ago. Excuse me, sir? Lily's voice rang out during a momentary silence. My mom had a ring just like yours. The room went quiet. Victor Chamberlain's head snapped toward us, his practiced smile freezing in place. I'm sorry, what was that, young lady? He asked, his voice controlled but strained. My mom's ring looked exactly like that. She lost it before she died. I watched as Victor's face drained of color, his eyes darting between Lily and me with something I couldn't quite place. Recognition? Fear? What a coincidence, he managed before quickly redirecting. As I was saying about our future plans, but I barely heard the rest of his speech. My mind was racing with questions. How could Chamberlain have Rebecca's ring? And why did he look so shaken by a child's innocent observation? You're sure about this, Fletcher? Mike asked, leaning forward in his chair. We were sitting in my tiny apartment kitchen 3 days after the company event, long after Lily had gone to bed. The more I think about it, the more certain I am. That ring belonged to Rebecca's family for generations. It's not some mass-produced jewelry you'd find duplicated. But how would Victor Chamberlain of all people have your wife's ring? Did they even know each other? I ran my hands through my hair, frustrated. That's what I can't figure out. Rebecca worked in pharmaceutical marketing, nowhere near Chamberlain's tech empire. Maybe they met at a conference, business event, Mike suggested, taking a sip of his beer. Maybe. I hesitated, then voiced what had been nagging at me. Rebecca was acting strange those last few months before the accident, working late, getting mysterious calls. You think she was involved with him? Mike's eyes widened. I don't know what to think anymore. The next morning, I made a call to Jessica Martinez, an attorney who'd helped with Rebecca's estate. This is quite unusual, Fletcher, Jessica said when I met her at her downtown office. Her sharp eyes studied me over stylish glasses. "You're suggesting your late wife's missing heirloom is now in the possession of your new boss, who may have had some connection to her. I know how it sounds, but my daughter recognized it instantly. Children can sometimes—" "Lily wouldn't mistake that ring," I interrupted. "It had a distinctive setting, the emerald surrounded by twisted gold that looked like vines. Family legend claimed it was designed by Rebecca's great-grandfather." Jessica nodded slowly. "I remember the insurance claim after it went missing. Let me make some discreet inquiries." 2 days later, I was meeting with Samantha Wells under the pretense of discussing a project timeline. "You worked with Mr. Chamberlain for what, 15 years?" I asked casually after our business concluded. 17, she corrected, already gathering her papers. "Is there something else, Mr. Preston?" "I was just curious about his background. He seems to have connections everywhere." Samantha's professional smile tightened. "Mr. Chamberlain values his privacy." "Of course. I just wondered if he spent much time in the pharmaceutical sector." "My late wife worked for Meridian Pharma." Her hand froze momentarily. "I wouldn't know about all of Mr. Chamberlain's business contacts." "Her name was Rebecca Preston. Perhaps you've heard him mention her?" Samantha stood abruptly. "I need to attend another meeting. Please direct future questions about the project to the department head." "She definitely knows something," I told Jessica over the phone afterward. "Fletcher, I found something interesting," Jessica replied. 3 years ago, Chamberlain Global was quietly negotiating to acquire Meridian Pharma, Rebecca's company. The deal fell through suddenly around the time of Rebecca's accident. "You think there's a connection?" "I don't believe in coincidences this big. I have a contact at Meridian who might talk." Jessica's contact, Patricia Wilson, agreed to meet me at a cafe the following day. In her 60s, with a no-nonsense demeanor, she'd been an executive assistant at Meridian during Rebecca's time there. "Rebecca was a rising star," Patricia said, stirring her tea. "She was leading the marketing strategy for their breakthrough diabetes medication." "Did she ever mention Victor Chamberlain?" Patricia's expression darkened. "Not by name, but she was troubled by something. About a month before her accident, I overheard her arguing on the phone. 'You promised this wouldn't affect the merger. You can't back out now, Victor.'" My stomach dropped. "They were involved?" "I believe so, and I think she was feeding him inside information about Meridian's valuation and patents. But something went wrong." "The ring," I whispered. "She was wearing it in photos from a company retreat. Then it disappeared." Patricia nodded grimly. "The day before her accident, she was distraught. She said someone had betrayed her and taken something precious." On my way home, Mike called. "You need to see this," he said urgently. "I accessed some archived email servers during the transition. There's a folder of deleted communications between Rebecca and an external account. The messages are coded, but they mention meetings at the Riverside Hotel and something called Emerald Project." "Mr. Preston, Mr. Chamberlain doesn't see employees without appointments," Samantha insisted, stepping between me and Victor's office door. "It's important. He'll want to hear this," I said firmly. "What's this about?" Victor's voice came from behind the now open door, his imposing figure filling the frame. "A private matter, regarding an emerald." Victor's composed expression flickered. "Samantha, give us the room and hold my calls." Inside his palatial office, Victor gestured to a chair before settling behind his massive desk. "What can I help you with, Fletcher? I understand you're one of our top engineers from the Watkins acquisition." "I think you know why I'm here." I placed a folder on his desk. "These are emails between you and my wife, Rebecca Preston, from 3 years ago. I meet thousands of people in business. I can't be expected to remember. You were having an affair with her while negotiating to buy Meridian Pharma. She was giving you insider information." Victor's practiced smile disappeared. "These are serious allegations. You stole her grandmother's emerald ring, the one you're wearing right now." His hand instinctively covered the ring. "This is a family piece." "My family's piece," I interrupted. "And I have the insurance documentation and family photos to prove it." Victor's demeanor shifted, charm replaced by cold calculation. "What exactly do you want, Preston? Money? A promotion?" "I want the truth, and I want my wife's ring back." "Truth?" Victor laughed harshly. "Your precious Rebecca approached me. She offered company secrets in exchange for a guaranteed executive position after the acquisition. The ring? A gift to seal our arrangement." "You're lying." "She would never—" "She was ambitious, Fletcher, far more than you knew. But then she got cold feet, threatened to expose our discussions unless I backed out of the deal. My hands clenched into fists. And the accident? Was that convenient timing? Victor's eyes narrowed. Careful with accusations you can't prove. She was on the phone when she crashed. Phone records show a 20-minute call with an unlisted number that ended seconds before the impact. A tragic coincidence, Victor said dismissively. I have a witness who heard her arguing with you by name the day before she died, and your own former assistant has come forward. This caught him off guard. What assistant? From 3 years ago, she remembers delivering a package to Rebecca and later retrieving it on your orders, a package containing documents and a distinctive emerald ring that Rebecca had supposedly lost. Victor stood suddenly, his chair rolling back. You're fishing. No one will believe these fabrications. The police and Meridian's legal team might disagree. Corporate espionage, theft. Get out of my office, Victor snarled, all pretense gone. You have no idea who you're dealing with. I stood my ground. Return my wife's ring and resign from Chamberlain Global, or I take everything to the authorities. You'd be destroyed before the ink dried on your complaint, he hissed, circling the desk toward me. I could crush your career with one phone call. Everything okay in here? Mike appeared at the door with Samantha hovering anxiously behind him. Mr. Chamberlain, your 3 o'clock is waiting, she said. We're not finished, Victor snapped. Actually, we are, I replied, stepping toward the door. You have until tomorrow to decide. Victor grabbed my arm, fingers digging painfully. Listen carefully, he growled, voice low but intense. If you pursue this, I will personally ensure you never work in tech again. Your daughter's college fund? Gone. Your reputation? Destroyed. I own judges and journalists who will make you wish you'd never heard my name. I pulled free, aware of Mike and Samantha witnessing everything. You just made this much easier, I said quietly. Victor realized his mistake too late. Samantha, call security to escort Mr. Preston out. No need, I replied. I know the way. I'll see you in court, Victor. The recording device worked perfectly, Jessica Martinez said, playing back Victor's threats on her laptop. Threatening your livelihood, your daughter's future, intimidation, coupled with the evidence of the stolen ring and the suspicious circumstances around your wife's death, we have multiple grounds for legal action. We were gathered in her office the following morning. Jessica, Mike, Patricia from Meridian, and Victor's former assistant Linda, who'd agreed to testify about retrieving the ring. What exactly can we charge him with? I asked. Theft of the ring, for starters, Jessica replied. Harassment and threats. Potentially corporate espionage related to the Meridian deal. The wrongful death suit regarding Rebecca is more challenging, but the phone records create reasonable suspicion. His legal team will fight everything, Mike warned. They'll try, Jessica agreed. But Chamberlain Global's board won't appreciate a CEO who steals family heirlooms and threatens employees while being recorded. The publicity alone could tank their stock. 3 weeks later, Victor Chamberlain was removed as CEO by his board of directors pending multiple investigations. The police had executed a search warrant for the ring, which was now in an evidence locker awaiting the completion of authentication. I sat across from Victor and his attorney in the conference room of Jessica's law firm. His tailored suit couldn't disguise how diminished he appeared. My client is willing to settle all claims, his attorney began. A generous financial package, reinstatement of your position with promotion, and the return of the ring once police release it. And in return? Jessica asked. Mr. Preston signs a non-disclosure agreement and drops all complaints. Absolutely not, I said firmly. Victor leaned forward. Be reasonable, Fletcher. This benefits us both. I'm not interested in your money or position. The ring will be returned through proper legal channels, and you'll face consequences for your actions. I cared for Rebecca, Victor said, his voice softening in a calculated way. What happened was tragic, but I never intended— Don't say her name, I interrupted coldly. You didn't care for her. You used her, stole from her, and quite possibly contributed to her death. I've apologized. I'm offering to make amends. Apologies don't undo what you did, and they certainly won't bring Rebecca back. Think about your future, your daughter. I'm showing her that people like you don't get to hurt others and walk away because you're rich or powerful. 6 months later, I stood with Lily in the courthouse hallway after the final hearing. Victor had eventually pleaded guilty to lesser charges of theft and workplace harassment to avoid the corporate espionage trial. The wrongful death investigation remained open. Is that Mom's ring? Lily asked, looking at the emerald now back on the chain around my neck. It is. Finally home where it belongs. Mike approached with Jessica. The judge didn't go easy on him, Mike said. Financial penalties, community service, and that restraining order means he can't come near you, the company, or any former Meridian employees. More importantly, the story's everywhere, Jessica added. His reputation is ruined. 3 other companies have come forward with similar experiences. Dad? Lily tugged my hand. Are we okay now? I knelt to her level. We're better than okay. We stood up for what's right, even when it was hard. Mom would be proud of us, wouldn't she? Incredibly proud, I assured her, touching the ring. This ring is part of your history, too. Someday it'll be yours. Later, at our favorite ice cream shop, Mike raised his spoon. To justice served, he toasted. And to Rebecca, I added. To Mom, Lily echoed, her ice cream already creating a mustache above her smile. As she chatted animatedly with Mike, I thought about the journey we'd taken. The truth hadn't brought Rebecca back, but it had honored her memory and shown Lily something important about standing up to powerful people who did wrong. Some might question if it was worth the risk and struggle. Was exposing a billionaire's misdeeds worth potentially endangering our security? Was justice for a wrong committed years ago worth the battle? Looking at my daughter's face, seeing Rebecca's eyes and spirit shining through, I knew the answer without question. Have you ever had to stand up against someone powerful who wronged you or someone you loved? What would you risk to make things right?